What's going on, world? It's your homie Sensei Rip, and I'm back again with another video. Listen, y'all, for those who may not know, earlier this evening on the 5150 show, Corey Holcomb premiered a parody of the Shannon Sharp lawsuit controversy. Again, for those who may not know, Corey and Craig, apparently they did a spoof on this Shannon Sharp lawsuit controversy. Like I said, as you can see, they was cutting up, man. I can't even front. Just seeing the video, you could just see they was just look at your boy Corey, man. He wild. But again, if you haven't seen this spoof of the Shannon Sharp lawsuit controversy, I'll make sure to leave a link in the description so you can check it out. And y'all let me know what are your thoughts, because Corey, whenever he's not doing takes, he's also making music on the side, doing his own videos. Like I said, this is just them having a ball. As you can see, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, they might do an album together. Who knows? But anyway, after they premiere, Corey, he went into his beef with Godfrey. Okay, for those who may not know, him and Godfrey, they've been going back and forth for a couple of weeks now. Of course, Godfrey reacted to the headlines of fans walking out on the We Don't Once tour, right? Apparently, Corey, he was headlining. For whatever reason, headlines came out stating that fans walked out while he was headlining. So, of course, Godfrey and his co-host on the show, they reacted, right? However, the co-host of Godfrey, he went in on Corey Holcomb and the whole situation. Of course, Corey, he didn't really like the fact that Godfrey allowed his co-host to go in on him like that. You know what I mean? According to Corey, considering the history he has with Godfrey, he believes, Godfrey allowed his co-host to go in and violating Corey Holcomb. Now, again, I don't want to get, too much as far as speaking on behalf of Corey. I'll let him give y'all exactly what was said. But again, I want y'all to let me know your thoughts on this Shannon Sharp spoof video Corey and Craig did, because again, that was very hilarious. I ain't gonna lie, the impersonators. Damn, Shannon. God damn. But like I said, let's get into Corey addressing his beef with Godfrey, man. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate each and every one of y'all who have been supporting the channel. And if you're new, again, I appreciate you. Everyone, everything that goes into content creation, it's a lot of work. And a part of it is just having y'all, enjoy it, engaging. So let's get right into it.
We put that out there. That's our Shannon Sharp little stab. We ain't want the brother to lose $100 million, but the brother lost $100 million, his job at ESPN and all that. I don't think it was fair that he lost that.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think he should have lost that, but I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying? They out to get you, brother. They out to get you. Be careful. They out to get you.
And
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
And what kind of sense is it, though, that they would file that big of a case against him, right, for that amount, before he signs like one of his biggest deals? And now he's not. What was it?
Dave Chappelle made an interesting point about
really?
that.
Okay, what was
The higher ups are after him.
So shut it down. So back things up.
The higher ups are after him. You know that it's hard for him to get certain guests on his show that he want to get on his show, because all the agents, you can't get A-listers no more. He can't get A-listers, even though he had a show that was top shelf.
Why do you think they after him? Because he's been playing the game for a minute.
Dude, do you know how much that Cat Williams video uprooted frustrations amongst people?
Because he spoke the truth.
I mean, like, you can't say what you want to say. It goes into this. I'm not the industry, right? I'm not the industry. We're going to go into this from this. I'm not the industry, but somebody who I've known for a long time named Mr. Gaiman brought on somebody who has put in no work in this game to disrespect me on his show. So I'm done with Mr. Gaiman. I'm done with Mr. Gaiman, because you let some peon. What does peon mean? Because somebody gonna be like, oh, he called him a peon. What does peon mean?
Peon is a bitch that sits there while you urinate on it.
No, it's just somebody kind of less
That's
than.
peon.
Isn't it somebody less
And
than?
is it somebody who really doesn't have any status? Somebody that is
Darlene said it's somebody less than.
right.
Whoever saying right when they say
You let a peon talk crazy on purpose because I know Mr. Gaiman. Mr. Gaiman didn't want to be the one behind it with it coming out of his mouth. So he brought on, I'm not going to say who this dude is to Mr. Gaiman, but I'm going to tell you what this dude does for Mr. Gaiman. Let me land with this. Let me land. Just give me a second. This is so important for people to know. Every brother in here in the entertainment business is going to agree with me. Like I say, the brother right there from Soul Train, Big Phil, everybody who's been in the game know this. When you are an entertainer who has popularity and maybe a couple of dollars, you can have sexual relations with a lot of women when you're on the road. Vice versa with women who are famous, they can have sexual relationships with a lot of men on the road. Like when you go to Denver, you can get some pussy in Denver. When you go to Cleveland, you get some pussy in Cleveland. But we don't do that after a certain amount of time because you realize strangers in your room is going to bring drama and chaos to your life.
Right.
Just let me land. I'm almost there. So what we do as entertainers, we start taking people with us on the road for companionship and sex. Women who open up for Corey Holcomb have to do something for me to put my time and effort into you. Just Niche, I never slept with Just Niche. Just Niche was a female comic on the road with me because of talent only. She was really talented. So I had Just Niche on the road with me. But if you're a female comic out there on the road with me, you got to put some work in or you ain't going to be on the road with me. Quite simple. If you ain't putting in work, you ain't on the road with me. So when Ray Charles, he had old girl on the road with him, right?
Oh.
You remember that? In the movie, Ray Charles, they showed about how he had the girl on the road.
Okay.
He even had a baby with the girl.
Okay. Right.
Ray Charles' wife found out about the baby and was sending the girl money because he had a wife that was down with him.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's what we do. We have our girl that's down with us at home, taking care of the money, the big house, all that. That's what we work for. The girl that's down with us, we have something for them. Right. I'm finna land in 1 minute. On the road, we got, it's almost like a road wife, but it never turns into that for real because most of the girls lose their mind because they can't get what they can't get you to do what they want you to do. So the relationship normally goes bad. But road pussy is part of the entertainment business. That dude on Mr. Gaiman's show travels with Godfrey on the road. Godfrey got boy pussy with him on the road. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying what they do. I'm not going to say what they do. But Godfrey got boy pussy with him on the road. Now, if you remember, he used to know this dude. He told me it was his roommate, but then I found out it wasn't his roommate. It was some dude. I think his name was Modi or something like that. Godfrey was like, I didn't even know he was gay. Half New York was like, Godfrey knew that nigga was gay. Because Godfrey and him had allegedly some women, and they both slept with the women, and then the dude who was Godfrey's friend, more boy pussy. He stay with boy pussy around him. He ain't got no facial hair, just like our brother Shannon Sharp. I ain't saying that mean that you fuck with boy pussy, but real dark niggas with no facial hair, I don't know about that. That's all I'm trying to say. What I'm saying to y'all is this. The man is perpetrating a fraud to y'all, man. I'm not wrong about what I say. What I said right now is all facts. Us comedians keep a road wife because ain't nothing out there but drama. Us singers, you keep a road wife. You got somebody to get you when the show is over. You don't want to be looking for strangers. So you have a road wife. Mr. Gaiman got boy pussy on the road with him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying what they doing, but it's boy pussy with him. Everybody think I'm the motherfucker don't know what I'm talking about. Corey say that about everybody. And they misquote people on that show. They misquote people on that show. That boy said, I hate. I'm talking about the little flaming boy.
Right.
He said, I hate. I say stuff wrong. I always got beef with people. Let me tell you something, man. I got beef with liars and people who misquote on that show. They said, you'll never be a headliner, Godfrey. Everybody know Godfrey headline. Nobody knew who Godfrey was till Tiffany Haddish put him on that little Netflix special. Tiffany Haddish got producer credit to put some guys on Netflix. She used Godfrey, Tony Woods. What's the other brother name? I forgot his name. God damn. Tiffany Haddish put Flame on too. That was when she did the ladies. Then she did one with the guys.
Oh, Flame was with
the dude, he do impersonations too. Anyway, I like them guys, man. But that Tiffany Haddish helped Godfrey's career. She got him more notoriety when she put him on that. I think he burned bridges with her too. That's all I'm saying. I think he burned bridges with her. I don't know. Matter of fact, I do know something. But I'm telling you, Mr. Gaiman phony as hell. And he didn't want to say all that stuff that was said on his show. He got the little flaming boy to do it because that's how he do. He don't got respect for us cutters. That's what they call us. He don't got respect, but he think he's so smart. You put that boy on there because y'all get frustrated. I don't dislike gay people. That's a rumor about me. I get along with everybody who keep it 100. If you keep it 100, whatever your thing is, like if you a man in a dress, I think you insane. Now, Flame is somebody who I got mad respect for because me and Flame have a relationship where when we talk to each other, we don't lie to each other, which is really what builds real camaraderie amongst humanity, being straight up. So I talk about men in dresses, but Flame, I grab him out the game and be like, okay, homie, I'll take whatever he come with you because you always keep it a buck with me. And I only expect the real to understand that. But Mr. Gaiman got a little boy on his show yapping, and he did it on purpose. He sent him off. One day, they was probably...
It's called a straw man.
What is it called?
It's a logical fallacy called a straw man.
Can you explain that?
Straw man is an argument. So that dude is a figurative argument. And it's another point besides the point. It's something you put there to confuse people. So it's a misdirection. So if you got a problem with somebody and it's a straw man argument, you're not going to say the problem you have. You're going to make up a problem.
Hey, man, what's wrong? I'm your friend, Corey. What's wrong? All them people who up in age who don't never know what's wrong, them some fuck niggas. When you see a motherfucker 50 plus and he like, what? What are you saying? Oh, my God, look at you. You know what I'm saying, motherfucker. You phony, dog. You sent that boy off to talk crazy. I never had nobody up here talking crazy about somebody and not stand on it. I'm gonna be like, hold on, man. That's you can't do that up here because that's my man.
Right.
Even if you got some facts about him, this ain't the place to do it because I gotta make sure I hold my man down.
I don't, you know me, I keep it jokes. I stay out of that. You know what I mean?
But look, sometimes this could happen when we up here. We talk every week, Craig. Sometimes you say some stuff. What's happening? What is that? I can't read all that.
Second paragraph. Read the first. That's a straw man.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sure. We sometimes we say somewhere it might clash.
Right.
But I'm saying I can't let you dog out somebody that's my man. I'll be like, Craig, that's my man, homie.
Right.
Want me to tell you why? I was on the phone with the brother on the show with Mr. Gaiman.
Right.
Dante, do you know when I said something about Mr. Gaiman? Dante was like, hold on now, Corey. Now you know, bro, that's my man. Dante got his back like you supposed to if you got somebody around you.
Straight up, yeah.
But I know Mr. Gaiman. Do you think he treat them people fair? No, he don't.
Yeah.
Now, all of the stories ain't gonna come out until them relationships burn up. But Mr. Gaiman is a fuck nigga. You ain't gotta believe me. The people in his assembly are the ones that'll say that later on at another time. You want to know who I am? Ask the people who be around me. That's when you get an accurate description of who a person is. Somebody who been around me. Go around, ask the people. Like that lady Tasha K went and found my baby mama from back out way in the day. What does she have to say about me? Nothing really. You know who she talked about?
Oh,
Other women and all the stuff that she heard or could find or whatever. Man, I'm thorough, G. I'm thorough, G. I got some flaws about me, but I tell you what, I ain't scared of none of them. It ain't nothing about me that I do I'm scared of. I'm supposed to be not like about a mark-ass niggas. That's how we say where I'm from. That mark-ass nigga. Hey, didn't Ice Cube say that?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That was Corey Holcomb addressing his beef with Godfrey, man. As you can see, I got to be honest. Corey, you know, he makes a strong point. You know, if an individual has respect for me and he's in the same room with someone talking down on me, the least you can do is, you know, ho, that's my man. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's keep it respectful. Because again, that does show that there's some form of loyalty, right? That's the part you can't ignore that. You know what I mean? Homeboy Godfrey, co-host, you know, his reasons for going in on Corey, he stated that. I'll make sure to leave the link in the description. I mean, he's been on there a couple of times as far as Godfrey's podcast. But this back and forth with him and Godfrey, this is very interesting, man. Like I said, it's very unfortunate because Corey Holcomb has a reputation, right? At least to the public, where he's now being deemed as messy, right? And he's addressed these narratives on his show as well. When it comes to Godfrey, on the other hand, he doesn't have a perception that's aggressive or threatening, right? And that's not to take no shot at Godfrey. The point I'm trying to make is people are going to view the situation in a way where Corey is the bully. You get what I mean? Because again, you mentioned people names on the show, you know, who don't ask, you know what I mean, to be mentioned. You know what I mean? You name drop people like Will Smith and others. You're in the industry where a lot of your peers are doing their best to keep a career, to make money. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of politics that are being played behind the scenes, especially when it comes to you expressing how you feel, right? You're seeing the effect, which Corey Holcomb spoke about in this episode of the 5150 show. You know, he talked about the response that Shannon Sharp received after his Cat Williams interview, you know, how so many people started to, you know what I mean, hate on Shannon Sharp. You started noticing he was getting shots from all directions, all because of the success of this one interview. You know what I mean? When it comes to situations like this, you could have a nice run in the industry and in one bad, you get what I'm saying, remark, the cosigner ruin everything. So, of course, everyone is walking on eggshells. However, when it comes to this situation here, this is the content space. Everybody's giving their take or their reactions. And Corey, like I said, he made a valid point. I can't even front when he talked about homeboy speaking up on behalf of Godfrey, like, look, I can't let you do that because that's my man's. And honestly, that's how it's supposed to be. But does it happen most of the time? No. Especially when you're not in those rooms. Now you have to hope that people are speaking on your behalf. Like I said, it's just a fine line when you're in this content creating space. Because one thing I will say is that Craig said it, whenever Corey is giving his takes, those are his views, right? And Craig stays out of it. Even in this situation, he isn't going in on Godfrey. He's giving his take. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with Darlene. Darlene don't say nothing. And I'm sure they in circles with people like, yo, what's up with your mans? Why you always got something to say? You know what I mean? But again, like I said, this is all about perception in regards of who the people are going to believe or side with. You know what I mean? According to Corey, this is Godfrey showing his true self, his true colors, by allowing others to speak, down on Corey. And Godfrey has confirmed that, he's the one who brought Corey to the stage when it comes to stand-up. You know what I mean? So there is history, in their upbringing. So, does Godfrey owe loyalty to Corey Holcomb? You get what I mean? Considering their history, you could argue that, yes. You know what I mean? Should he impose a certain type of, a line that individuals on the show should know not to cross? I mean, listen, where do we hear this from? I know this might sound crazy, but this might kind of remind you of the Lord Jamar Flat Earth debate situation. Because again, in that situation, Godfrey, and somebody say, I don't know, that might be a reach, but really think about it. Lord Jamar said he was blindsided by this flat earth guest. You get what I mean? Of course, we seen Lord Jamar, he embarrassed himself. There's really no defending his actions in that situation. But the point is, he called out Godfrey for being a certain way that the public is not accustomed to seeing, Godfrey being depicted in that light. You get what I'm saying? Godfrey and his brand is all funny. You know what I mean? He doesn't go at anybody. So again, like I said, it's all about perception. It's not about who I think is right or wrong, because at the end of the day, they all peers. They're trying to make it in this business. And Corey, he's going to ruffle feathers based on the commentary that he gives. You know what I mean? Based on his experience in the industry. Say what you want. The fact that Corey has his own show, he's able to do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? Now, is he free from consequence? No. And this is why maybe, Hollywood doesn't give him some of those calls. But when you think about the comedy game in its entirety, this is why I'm like, how about we take this energy of this back and forth and create a platform in which y'all can showcase your talent? Corey believes he's one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to that stage. Godfrey believes it as well. You get what I mean? Why not create a platform in which comedians can put the money to the test and really show the people who's the funniest? Because to me, that makes sense. The back and forth, eventually it'll die over. You know what I mean? Everything will pretty much cool down after this, because again, this has been going on back and forth for a couple of weeks now. You get what I mean? And like Corey tell it, Godfrey, allowing his mans to talk down on him and him not checking the co-host has him looking at Godfrey a certain way. Now, again, if that's what you believe to be true in regards to siding with Corey Holcomb, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like I said, to me, I'd rather see these comedians, take a stage where they can showcase their talent and show the world, how this comedy game should be, because there's a lot of politics that goes into this. And it's unfortunate because we don't see the talent. The perception is Corey just sit up there and just spew nonsense from the platform. This is a podcast. It's based around commentary and reactions. You get what I mean? You get what you ask for. You know what I mean? If you want to see him get busy on the stage, listen, by all means, get a ticket. Check him out. You know what I mean? Now, I will be the first to admit, does Corey get everything right? No. Hell, I don't always agree with him. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's going to have their own opinions. You know what I mean? But in this situation here, it seems as if Corey feels as though Godfrey ain't holding him down. You know what I mean? Like I said, perception-wise, I can already see this is going to go into a situation where people are going to look at Corey, you know what I mean, as the villain, as the bully. Why are you bothering Godfrey? That man bothers nobody, because that's how his brand is depicted to the public. You get what I mean? So, like I said, to me, I'm thinking like, yo, this has to be, you know, a misunderstanding. But when you go back, you know, did Godfrey tell him, yo, chill? That's my man's. Nah, Godfrey didn't do that. He just sat back, let homie cook. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, you want people to feel comfortable, you know what I mean, on the platform to express themselves. I do a show. You know what I mean? My co-host might say things. You know what I mean? And it's my job to, you know what I mean, step in and be like, yo, hold on now. If there's somebody that I rock with, yo, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it respectful, because again, these interviews that people do, people say certain things, and you have to put it out on your platform. Now people will hold you responsible for that. You know, sometimes you can give people the heads up, but it could backfire, all simply because of the situation or you know what I'm saying, the loyalty one expects. Like, yo, that's happened before, where you don't want to put out content that could cause a rift between, you know, both parties that you rock with. You just a platform. All of these things you have to consider when it comes to the content creation space. But like I said, we're all creating content, giving our takes and reaction. You know what I mean? Corey's not excluded. Godfrey is co-host. You know what I mean? In the end, does Godfrey owe Corey loyalty? I leave that up for y'all to decide in the comment section below. But like I said, this is very interesting. My hope is that both men can somehow, you know what I mean, along with Donnell Rawlings and the other comedians who, you know, pretty much distance themselves from Corey. I'm just curious to know will there ever be a platform where comedians can go on the stage and test out their crafts. Because again, I've seen all of these comedians. They're all phenomenal. You know what I mean? Corey, you know, he ranks them some mild, right? But truth be told, if you go and get a ticket and see some of the vets, most of the vets, they're going to give you your money's worth. You know what I mean? However, when we talking about arenas, stadiums, you know, it's different levels to it. You know what I'm saying? You got to really be funny. Now things have been so diluted with social media, and, you know, like I said, now it gives comedians, artists, whomever, the freedom to do however they feel when it comes to their brand. Look at Corey earlier this evening premiering the spoof. You get what I mean? He did that all independent. What's stopping other comedians from putting in that work and doing whatever it takes to push the brand forward? You know, I don't want to go too far on a tangent, but the point is, Corey independent, Godfrey independent. You get what I'm saying? Donnell, all these other comedians, it's a tough game, man. Shout out to all the stand-up comedians that's trying to make a living. Like I said, we cover a lot of sports, hip hop, comedy, because truth be told, that was all a part of the upbringing, right? In the 90s, when I was growing up, you had platforms where you seeing comedians, successful comedians, you know what I mean, getting opportunities from Hollywood, getting a shot at trying to be a superstar. Now you don't see that no more. You know, everyone is out here trying to, you know, make it. They trying to survive, man. So kudos to all the comedians out there. But again, y'all let me know, man. What are your thoughts on this back and forth between Corey Holcomb and Godfrey? Again, who do you think is right? Who do you think is wrong? Because according to Corey, he feels as though Godfrey owes him the loyalty in which he shouldn't allow co-hosts to talk, you know, down on Corey, essentially, if you have respect for me. You know what I mean? Is Corey valid in that take, or do you believe this is, you know, the content game, man? Everybody's content. No one's excluded. Again, you let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. With that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Again, my name is Sensei Rip. Till next time. Peace. So look, world, I need y'all to do me a favor right quick and tap into the homie Grand Finale's latest video titled Sidelines. Okay, the full video is available on his YouTube channel. However, I'm about to bless y'all with a quick teaser. Okay, if you like what you hear, make sure to head on over to his channel and leave a comment. All right, and make sure to tell him that Rip sent you. Okay, run them numbers up. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.
Upon the world before you dearly depart.
Let the world go by. Just let the world go by. And it'll all be just fine.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, hit that notification bell to get the latest on hip-hop, sports, comedy, whatever. All right, we got you covered over here at Forgotten Kings TV. And also, click on one of these videos, okay? All right, y'all.